Did you know that Bayern Munich has just broken the magical €1 billion barrier in earnings? Let that sink in for a moment. Only one other club in history has ever done this before, Real Madrid. But here's where it gets crazy. Unlike clubs like Manchester City, PSG, and AC Milan, Bayern doesn't have a billionaire owner injecting endless cash into the club. They also don't have the financial backing of a nation-state like some other clubs we won't mention. And if you think, oh well, maybe they take on massive debt like Barcelona and Real Madrid, then you'd be wrong again. Bayern Munich has zero debt. Zilch. Nada. They're financially clean, self-sustainable, and still thriving. Meanwhile, other so-called super clubs are struggling just to keep the lights on. So, how on earth did Bayern Munich do this? How did they build an empire without selling out? And more importantly, what can other clubs learn from them? Stick around, because today, we're breaking down the Bayern Munich Blueprint. And trust me, this story is wild. Let's get into it. Okay, first things first, Bayern Munich is not like your average big European club. They don't have a billionaire owner pouring unlimited cash into the team. There's no sheikh in the background, no Russian oligarch, no Hollywood A-lister buying a stake to make headlines. Nope, Bayern is built differently. While most big clubs have taken on billions in debt, Bayern has built a business model that keeps them at the top without ever having to owe anyone a cent. And it all starts with the legendary Bayern Munich way. Unlike other elite European clubs that rely on deep-pocketed investors, Bayern is majority fan-owned. That's right. Thanks to Germany's 50+1 rule, the fans own Bayern Munich, not some oil tycoon looking for a shiny new toy. But wait, doesn't that limit their financial growth? You'd think so, right? Well, apparently not. While other clubs are drowning in debt, Bayern is sitting pretty with absolutely zero debt. That's right. No loans, no last-minute bailouts, no mortgaging the future just to afford a new striker. They spend only what they can afford, and somehow, they still manage to compete with Europe's elite every single season. Their secret? Smart business decisions, long-term financial sustainability, relentless branding, and a commercial empire that stretches across the globe. Their biggest sponsors aren't just throwing money at them, they're invested. Adidas, Allianz, and Audi, three German giants, each hold an 8.3% stake in the club. So, a total of 25% ownership. They're not just slapping logos on jerseys, they're partners in Bayern's success. FC Bayern uses the proceeds from the sales of its shares to pay off debts from the construction of the Allianz Arena and invest in its youth training center. Unlike some clubs who rent their stadiums, Bayern made sure they fully owned theirs. Smart, right? And thanks to these strategic partnerships, Bayern has built a global marketing machine that prints money. While other clubs are desperately trying to secure the latest shirt sponsorship deal to stay afloat, Bayern owns their destiny. Their brand is one of the strongest in football, with millions of die-hard fans worldwide. They've mastered the art of commercial deals, international marketing, and maximizing every revenue stream imaginable. Ticket sales? Check. Merchandise? Check. International fan engagement? Double check. Speaking of branding, Bayern has over 382,000 registered members, the largest of any football club in the world. That's not just fans, that's paying members who actively contribute to the club's finances. Imagine if Barcelona had that many paying members instead of just fans screaming about Messi on Twitter. And let's not forget their academy, one of the best in the world. Instead of constantly splurging on overpriced transfers, they develop world-class talent from within. Thomas Müller, Philipp Lahm, Bastian Schweinsteiger, they all came through the Bayern system. Producing talent in-house saves millions on transfers and keeps the club financially strong. And yet, Bayern isn't afraid to spend when it matters. They buy the right players, at the right price, at the right time. No panic buys, no massive overpayments, just smart, calculated business. So let me ask you, if you were running a football club, wouldn't you want to follow Bayern's model instead of sinking into debt like so many others? Now, let's be real. None of this financial success would matter if Bayern weren't actually winning on the pitch. But here's the thing, they are. And they've been doing it for decades. This club isn't just rich, they're ruthless. Bayern has won more Bundesliga titles than any other club in history. In fact, they've been so dominant that they've basically turned the Bundesliga into their personal training ground for the Champions League. Their domestic dominance is a direct result of their careful planning. While other clubs engage in reckless spending sprees, Bayern strategically builds their squad with a mix of experienced legends and young superstars. They don't just buy stars, they create them. And let's not ignore Bayern's brilliant scouting and recruitment. They scout smart, they negotiate better than your mom at a flea market, and they make sure every euro spent brings a return. Remember when they signed Robert Lewandowski on a free transfer? That's right, one of the best strikers in the world cost them nothing. Also, one time they got Alphonso Davies for just 10 million euros. Yes, the same Davis that now torches defenses for fun. Even when they go for big names, like Harry Kane, they make sure it's a long-term investment, not a panic buy. And this strategy doesn't just apply to players, it applies to coaches too. Bayern consistently brings in elite managers who understand the club's philosophy. From Pep Guardiola to Hansi Flick to Thomas Tuchel, Bayern doesn't just hire any big-name coach, they hire the right coach for their system. The result? Year after year, Bayern remains unstoppable. They dominate Germany, challenge for the Champions League, and continue to grow their global brand. It's a winning machine, and it's all built on the foundation of smart business and strategic decision-making. So tell me, how does a club with no billionaire owner keep beating clubs that have endless financial backing? The answer? Bayern knows what they're doing. Let's talk about the future. Can Bayern Munich keep this up? Or will the football landscape eventually catch up with them? Here's the scary part. Bayern is only getting stronger. They've expanded their international marketing, they're bringing in record-breaking revenue, and their squad is as competitive as ever. They're also expanding their global fan base, solidifying their presence in North America, Asia, and beyond. Meanwhile, other European giants are struggling to keep up. Barcelona is drowning in debt. Juventus has been hit with financial scandals. Chelsea and Man U keep throwing money around with zero direction. And PSG? Well, let's just say that when your entire strategy revolves around keeping one superstar happy, that's not exactly a long-term plan. Bayern, on the other hand, is built to last. Their financial model ensures they'll never be in crisis. Their commitment to youth development means they'll always have world-class talent. They don't just rely on winning trophies, they make sure their name carries weight worldwide. And their smart recruitment guarantees they'll stay competitive for years to come. So here's the big question. Will Bayern Munich continue to dominate football, both on and off the pitch? Or will the other clubs finally catch up? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because one thing is certain. Bayern Munich is not just a football club. It's a blueprint for success. From financial dominance to on-field success, this club has cracked the code in a way that no other team has. They've built an empire the right way, and now they're reaping the rewards. They're rich without debt, powerful without a billionaire owner, dominant without reckless spending. And if you think this story is over, think again. Because Bayern Munich isn't just keeping up with football's elite, they're leading the way. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and let us know. Do you think Bayern's model is the future of football? Or will the billion-dollar clubs eventually catch up? As always, stay tuned with Footy, and see you at the next one.